Hi, I'm Fiona Campbell. I'm the new Creative Director for Perth Symphony Orchestra. Oh, my very first music teacher was this divine Irish nun called Sister Paula. And she used to pick me up from the primary class when I was about 5 years old, and she would twirl me all the way across the school to the music class where we'd have a violin lesson or whatever. And I guess what I learnt from her, even though I might not have known it at the time, but it's always stayed with me, is that you can learn through joy and being playful. I love that Perth Symphony Orchestra has placed itself as the orchestra that breaks all the rules. Because for me, wanting to share and communicate music to people outside of the concert hall is one of the huge attractions, and I love that we just have that freedom and sense that we can play anywhere at any time. Ooh, that's tricky. So many good moments. One of my favourite performances was Cinderella, because as a mezzo, I don't often get to play the title role. Normally mezzos wear a movable prop stable. So that was pretty fun, and it was a beautiful, fun production of Rossini. And then last year, Australian Vocal Ensemble in Sydney was actually one of my all-time favourite performances because the four of us were just in the zone, and that kind of a cappella singing is so tightrope, but somehow it all came together and there was just this incredible Zen moment on stage, if you like. It was magnificent. Yeah, qualities I think are not only mastery of the instrument, but that ability to be open to ideas and work in collaboration with your colleagues. I think that openness takes it to another level. God, it's so much part of my life now. I mean, I was forced into music when I was a kid. We always had music in the house, but now I'm so grateful for that. It's just such a privilege to be a musician and have it in my world. So I think music inspires you to make more music. There are no guilty pleasures. I think it's all good music. I suppose a bit of a guilty pleasure might be considered Barbra Streisand. I do adore her voice, so maybe that's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, that would be something along the lines of don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. You know, it's much better to play with passion and commitment than sacrifice that for absolute perfection. I think that's a good way to lead your life too. Well, I love being in nature. I love hiking, walking, swimming, cycling, anything being outdoors, listening to birds. I think that's the other great joy in life for me. The sky's the limit, I think, for this orchestra, and my hopes and aspirations is that we will get into the hearts and minds of every Western Australian and bring experiences to people who may never otherwise have that chance to hear a symphony orchestra. So, yeah, big aspirations. Well, many things have happened that I absolutely cannot repeat here, but and over the years, much hilarity, but I guess one of the funniest moments was, in fact, when I was Cinderella, and the very last scene is a huge huge aria for the mezzo. Like, it's a really big, difficult aria in the mezzo coloratura repertoire. So I sing the introduction up on the balcony, and then I had to race down the stairs to the bottom before I launched into the second part of this huge aria. Anyway, the male chorus that were always there at the bottom of the stairs, every single night in the performance would do something to try and make me laugh, or corpse, we call it in the business, on stage. And I had about 3 seconds to sort of gather myself before this huge aria. And the rat bags, one night, I kept it together every single night, except one night I came down and literally one of them fainted. That's what they'd planned this time. He saw me and he fainted in delight, and then I had to go on and sing that big scene. So I think I did giggle that night, but it was a classic moment.